I didn't believe in ghosts. At least, not until that night, when I saw her, alone, dancing, in the middle of the road. This happened back in 2017. I was on a solo trip through Northern Thailand, renting a motorbike and exploring villages most tourists didn't go to. One evening, I left a small town a bit too late. The sun had already set, and I was riding through back roads completely dark. No streetlights, just jungle on either side. As I turned a sharp corner, my headlight caught something. A woman, standing. No, moving. She was dancing. Alone. In the middle of the road. She wore a long traditional Thai costume. Silk fabric that shimmered in the light. Her arms moved in slow, elegant circles. Like a performance, but with no audience. Her face was pale, blank. Her eyes never looked at me. She just kept moving. Then I heard it. Drums. Very faint. Boom, boom, boom. She paused, stood still. And then she vanished into the trees. I sat there, frozen. The road was empty, no sound, no drums, just the night. I turned the bike around and rode back. When I told the guest house owner what I saw, he didn't laugh. He just asked, "Did she wear gold?" So, here's what I know. A dancer died on that road years ago, on her way to a village performance. Some say she never made it. But the dance, it continues. I don't ride alone at night anymore. And if you ever do, watch the road. She might still be dancing. It wasn't the first time I stayed overnight at school, but it was the first time I heard music from the floor above, the kind of music no one was supposed to be playing. A few years ago, I was selected to join an art competition. Our school took it seriously. So seriously, in fact, that we had to sleep on campus to train. 8 of us, all girls, stayed in the art room on the second floor. The room directly above ours? A traditional dance studio. Most nights were uneventful, just hours of practice, dinner, and lights out. But the night before a ceremonial day, the teachers would always warn us, stay in your rooms, no wandering, and if you hear anything, just ignore it. That night, just past midnight, we heard it. Soft music, faint percussion, the distant rhythm of footsteps. We thought maybe some dancers were rehearsing late, but the next morning, they told us, no one was in that room last night. We're not allowed. Curiosity got the better of us. The next sacred night, we decided to find out for ourselves. Around 1 a.m., I left the room with 2 friends and crept upstairs. The music was playing again, louder this time, but the door to the studio was locked. Heavy padlock, chains across the bars, and still, the music played. I crouched down to peek through the tiny gap beneath the door. At first, nothing. Just darkness. Then, something moved. A pair of feet. Bare, thin, almost skeletal, and completely black. Draped in the tattered hem of a traditional costume. They moved in time. 1 step. 2. Then a stomp. I gasped, and the feet stopped. Turned. Slowly. They faced me. I bolted. Ran down the stairs. My friends followed, pale and shaking. We didn't speak a word the rest of the night. Just lay there, trying to ignore the music still playing above us. The next morning, one of the girls, the one who'd slept next to me, refused to stay in the room. She said she woke up to see a woman in black dancing beside her. Not just dancing. She stepped on her face. She was in pain, and there were black soot marks left behind. Here's the part that still chills me. I hadn't told her what I saw. Later, one of the teachers took us upstairs. Behind the studio, there was a locked-in room. Inside it, a shrine. An old photograph of a woman in full ceremonial costume, burned. Her remains were kept there. The teacher said she was a former dance instructor who died in a fire in that very room. She was the mother of the current teacher. You're lucky, they said. She only stepped on you. She's done worse. We continued our training, and every sacred night the music would still play. No one ever went upstairs again, and no one ever opened that room. If you ever find yourself near a locked dance studio, don't listen to the music. And whatever you do, don't try to watch her dance. She doesn't want an audience anymore. I used to travel to Thailand for business, once a year, always around the same time, and always the same hotel. It was a boutique place in the northern part of Thailand. Not very big, but tasteful, quiet, tucked by the river with a wooden balcony overlooking the water. The staff remembered me. They always gave me the same room, room 604. It was on the top floor, corner end. Bright during the day, peaceful at night. I'd stayed there twice before, slept like a log. Never heard a thing, not even the elevator. But on my third visit, things felt different from the start. The city was preparing for a festival. I saw lanterns being hung, monks chanting at temples. The receptionist handed me my key and said, "Tonight is a special night, sir. Sacred. Good for praying." I smiled, nodded, and took the key. I had no reason to think twice. That evening, I ate dinner by the riverside. Returned to the room, showered, answered a few emails. By 11 p.m., I was already in bed. Lights off, curtains drawn. I don't remember falling asleep. But at some point, I must have, because the next thing I recall, I was in that strange place between sleep and waking. Heavy. Still. Like I drifted into a dream, but never quite entered it. And that's when I heard it. Music. Software slow. Echoing. Like it had been playing for a while, and I'd just now become aware of it. I sat up. It wasn't from the hallway. It wasn't from upstairs. I was on the top floor, and the room next door was empty. I knew because I asked for peace and quiet. But this music, it was soft, flowing, flutes, bells, drums, a melody that felt ancient. Then I saw movement. In the corner, just by the curtain, a woman stepped forward, dressed in a golden Thai costume, intricate patterns, traditional jewelry, her hair perfectly coiled and pinned with a golden ornament. She looked real, solid, like she belonged there. She raised her arms slowly and began to dance. Her movements were measured, not modern, not like anything I'd seen before. It felt sacred, like I was watching something I wasn't supposed to see. She didn't acknowledge me, didn't smile, didn't blink, just danced. The music pulsed through the room until she took a final step and backed into the curtain. Gone. No wind, no sound, just silence. And the curtain still gently swaying. I stayed in bed, awake, eyes open, waiting for something else to happen. But nothing did. The next morning, I didn't even know how to ask, but I tried. I said to the front desk jokingly, "Do you guys do late-night cultural performances in the rooms now?" The receptionist paused, then asked, "You stayed in 604? I nodded. She whispered to a colleague in Thai, then leaned closer and said, "This hotel was a home, a long time ago. A dancer used to live here. She died in a fire in that very room. People say she still finishes her last performance on nights like that." I didn't ask anything more. Didn't want to know. I moved to a different hotel the next day. Never stayed in 604 again. But sometimes, when I'm alone and hear soft music from nowhere, I wonder, was I her final audience? Or was she just practicing for someone else?